When I pulled into the driveway that evening, the first thing I noticed was the trash bags. 3 of them. Black plastic. Sitting beside the curb. At first I thought someone had cleaned out the garage. Then I saw my jacket sticking halfway out of one of them. I turned off the engine and sat there for a moment, staring through the windshield. The house looked normal. Lights on in the living room. The same curtains my mother insisted on keeping even though they were 20 years old. Inside, voices drifted through the open window. My sister's laugh. Her husband's deeper voice. They sounded comfortable. I stepped out of the car and walked toward the curb. The bag tore slightly when I lifted it. A few of my books slid onto the pavement. My laptop charger was tangled in a bundle of clothes. For a few seconds I just stood there, holding the bag. Then the front door opened. My mother appeared in the doorway, wiping her hands on a kitchen towel like she had just finished cooking. "Oh," she said when she saw me. "You're back." Behind her, my sister leaned against the wall with a small smile. "Good timing," she said. "We finished clearing your room." I looked past them into the hallway. The door to my room was open. I could see new suitcases stacked against the wall. My sister's. "What happened to my things?" I asked. My mother shrugged casually. "You saw them. In the trash." "They're not in the trash," she said impatiently. "They're outside. That's the same thing." My sister laughed softly. "You're being dramatic." Her husband stepped forward slightly, glancing around like he didn't want to get involved. My mother folded her arms. "Listen," she said. "Your sister and her husband need the space. They're starting their life together. You're single. You can manage. This is my room." "It was your room." The towel in her hands twisted tighter. "You've stayed here long enough without contributing anything," she continued. "It's time you stopped mooching." The word hit harder than I expected. Mooching. She waved a hand dismissively. "Oh please, don't start that again." "I pay? Beefy-shit," she snapped. The house went quiet for a second. My sister looked amused. "Mom's right," she said. "You always pretend like you're doing more than you actually are." I opened my mouth, then stopped. For years I had handled the payments quietly. Mortgage transfers. Property taxes. Repairs when the roof leaked 2 winters ago. The electrical work last summer. Every time I told myself it didn't matter who got credit. Family was family. Standing there now, looking at my belongings in trash bags, something inside me shifted. Not anger. Just clarity. I picked up another bag and carried it to my car. No one tried to stop me. My sister stepped into the hallway and started measuring the room with her eyes. "Perfect for a dresser over there," she said. My mother nodded approvingly. "You should repaint the walls." I loaded the last bag into the trunk. Then I took out my phone. The call took less than 30 seconds. "Yes," I said calmly. Tomorrow morning would be fine. When I hung up, my mother was watching from the doorway. "Who was that?" "Just someone I needed to inform." She snorted. "Well, make sure you inform them you're moving out." I closed the trunk. I already did. That night I stayed at a small hotel across town. The room was quiet. For the first time in years, I opened my laptop and looked through the financial documents without trying to justify anything to myself. The mortgage statements, the property deed, the payment records. All of it was in my name. I had kept it that way deliberately when I bought the house 8 years earlier. At the time, it felt like a precaution. Now it felt like a boundary I had delayed using. The next morning, my phone buzzed with a confirmation message. They had arrived. I drove slowly toward the house. A white vehicle was already parked in the driveway. 2 people stood near the front door speaking with my mother. Even from the street I could see confusion in her posture. My sister appeared behind her, arms crossed. One of the men held a folder. He spoke calmly, pointing toward the property. My mother kept shaking her head. Then he handed her a document. When I stepped out of my car, all 3 of them turned toward me. My sister's voice came first. "What is this?" I walked up the driveway slowly. They're here to clarify the ownership structure. The man nodded politely. We're representatives from the Mortgage Administration Office, he explained. My mother looked between us. What ownership structure? He opened the folder again. This property, he said, is registered solely under his name. Silence filled the space. My sister blinked. That's not possible. The man simply tapped the paperwork. The financial responsibility for the house, including all payments, has been his for the past 8 years. My mother's face went pale. You never said anything? I looked at her. You called me a moocher. My sister shook her head. So what are you saying? She asked. We can't stay here. I didn't raise my voice. I'm saying I'm done pretending this arrangement works. The representative cleared his throat. Future occupancy of the property will need to be decided by the registered owner. My mother stared at the ground. The house behind her suddenly looked different. Not hostile. Just no longer theirs by assumption. I stood there for a moment, feeling the weight of the past few years settle into something quieter. Respect, I realized, wasn't something you earned by sacrificing indefinitely. Sometimes it only appeared when you stopped sacrificing at all.